Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Geno Reynolds and this is WAND Presents The Real Geno. Today we're going to take a look at a movie which is technically the 5th attempt at a sequel to a holiday classic. I'll explain that in a bit. Today, let's take a look at A Christmas Story Christmas. So let's do this.
No, I want an official red undercover knife to 200 millimeter rifle.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, life moves fast. One day you're playing kick the can with kids named Flick and Schwartz.
I triple dog dare you.
And the next thing you know, you're a certified adult.
Ralphie! Ralph, dear old man.
Fragile.
He was the best.
Ralphie, promise me we're gonna make this a wonderful Christmas. That would make your father so happy.
I promise. What had I done? And now it was all up to me?
Taking place in 1973, 33 years after the events of the first movie, Ralphie is now a struggling author in Chicago. He's married and has 2 kids of his own. Before his parents can come to visit, he gets a call that his old man has passed away. Ralphie takes it upon himself to pack up the family and head home to Indiana to take over his dad's Christmas responsibilities. Okay, so of course everybody knows about the first movie. It's a classic, but did you know that there are 4 other sequels that were made before the movie we're going to be talking about today? The first was called My Summer Story, but was originally called It Runs in the Family. This one came out in 1994 and takes place shortly after the events of the original movie. Other than Jean Shepherd as the narrator and also Ralphie's teacher, no other cast members return to their roles. I found a DVD of it for my mom, who is a huge A Christmas Story fan, and it was a Christmas miracle that I did. Before that, there were 2 made-for-TV movies that I didn't even know existed before I started writing this review. The first one was called The Star-Crossed Romance of Josephine Kosnowski from 1985. This one is set somewhere in the late 40s, early 50s as a high school-aged Ralphie is trying to court the woman of his dreams. I was able to find this one on YouTube if you want to see it. The second one's called Ollie Hop Noodle's Haven of Bliss, which came out in 1988. This one takes place in the 50s and is about Ralphie getting his first job as well as his family going on vacation. Jean Shepherd once again returns to narrate the movie. I found this one on YouTube as well. Lastly was A Christmas Story 2, which came out in 2012. This one takes place 6 years after the events of the first movie. It's about Ralphie wanting to get a car for Christmas. This sequel is pretty easy to find as well, if you want to find it anyway. Now that the history lesson is over, are any of these canon? I don't really know and my brain hurts just thinking about it. Now on to our movie today. I'm happy to say that the real Ralphie has returned. While this one is pretty predictable and plays a lot with the nostalgia factor, I think for the most part it hit all the right marks. Along with Peter Billingsley returning to play Ralphie, you also get returns from a lot of the important actors from the first movie as well. Melinda Dillon didn't return to play Ralphie's mother because she retired from acting years ago and the old man actor Darren McGavin passed away in 2006. Julie Haggerty takes over the role of Mom and is pretty entertaining in doing so. I guess what I'm saying is that when it came to the cast, this one still had it where it counted. Seeing the return of Flick, Schwartz, and others is what really made this work. That being said, as simple as it was, so did the plot. Ralphie feels he has to take over leading the Christmas charge from his old man. This, of course, leads to A Christmas Story style hijinks along the way. Shopping for presents, getting that year's Christmas tree, and other story beats make their return, but now from adult Ralphie's point of view. He, along with the rest of his family, have to learn how to move forward after the passing of his old man. Since Jean Shepherd passed away in 1999, somebody had to take over the narrating duties, so who better than Ralphie himself? While yes, it is just a little off-putting for a bit, you get used to hearing Billingsley as the narrator pretty quickly. I thought he did a really good job at matching the storytelling flow of the late great Shepherd. While not the most original movie in the world, I felt that this one had everything it needed to be a really fun one. Revisiting the old house and a lot of the past cast members one more time for me was well worth my time. The story had a lot of the fun from the first movie, but also had a lot of the same heart as well. If you want to see A Christmas Story Christmas, you can stream it right now on HBO Max. That's going to be it for this edition of W&D Presents The Real Geno. As always, I am your host, The Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. Until next time. Hey Lee, watch where you're pointing that thing. You might shoot my eye out.
What are you talking about here, Geno?
That's why it's funny.